I meditate to take my mind away. Pray for the world in hopes for a better day. Ooh, we are made by design. Design is the world is not doctor. That's why we have one chance to make it alright. Ooh, it's not taking mine. It's happy people, it's the world around, round, round. Happy people turn around to smile. Happy people. Happy people make love and harmony. Happy people makes the world go round and round. Happy people turn around to smile. Happy people don't worry about a thing. Yeah. What's up, my happy people? It's not quite 11, but I came here a little bit early. We're gonna get started in a minute. I'm trying to get my my good friend to come up. He's a truck driver, so I'm trying to get him to come up. So hopefully he comes up while we're live, and I can ask him a few questions about what we're gonna talk about. What's up, Scarlett? Yes, your mom. Your mom. I bet you got her all kinds of cool stuff. Happy birthday to mom again, Scarlett. Sherry, what's up, Sherry? Augusta, Georgia in the house. Latha, what's happening? St. Louis in the house. Hey, I got a St. Louis that I'm about to interview. Maybe today we're gonna do a pre-cut interview, and then you know what I mean. Here's the thing: when I play this song, I can't just play it one time, y'all. It gets me going. This is like my cup of coffee. Not just because it's my song, but because it feels so good, man. It lifts your spirit all the way up. And this crazy world right now, it's like we need something, man. We're gonna let a few more people get up in here and we're gonna get going. Yo, so my St. Louis, I am still doing the Poo Gene Anderson, aka Poo Poo Man interview from the Parliament Funkadelic. He's from St. Louis. And I got a cousin that's an attorney in St. Louis. Letha, I got a cousin that's an attorney. So listen, you guys, I'm probably gonna let some music just play in the background. So you already know what this is, man. This is just like, I'm so disgusted every time I look up. You know, here we go with the same issue over and over again. And it's starting to really, really nerve me to the point to where I feel like we need to talk about this. There are too many black truck drivers, and I'm trying to get my buddy who's a truck driver to come on here. He said he would. He's probably busy with a load right now, dropping a load off. So as soon as he can, I already sent him the link to come on my live. He's a longtime friend of mine. We've been friends since we were young dudes. So what better person to get some insight from? And if there's any truck drivers that are on here now, as I start to speak, please comment on what I'm about to talk about. I don't know if you guys know. Oh, and you know what I did today, you guys? I put my phone on airplane mode. and it seems to be cool because I know then maybe I can stop the phone calls. So I put it on airplane mode. Today we're going to talk about a truck driver named Eric Darnell. And you guys, man, I mean, the list goes on. I can just keep talking about. There's tons of other truck drivers that this has happened to, but particularly this truck driver, Eric Darnell, has disappeared, man, and it's just crazy, man. Um, there's definitely something that's going on, and it needs to be looked into because it's not really making any sense. And we all know as Black people what's going on. Let me read this. Crazy, man. This is just nuts. A 38-year-old man, Black truck driver, has mysteriously vanished in the middle of a cross-country delivery, and his family says no one is helping them find him. Eric Darnell, a father of four, veteran long-haul driver based in Birmingham, Alabama, was last seen leaving a distribution center outside of Phoenix, Arizona, early last Tuesday morning. His route was an outline. His route was an outline and a straight shot to drop off in Memphis, Tennessee, but he never made it. His wife Yolanda says they spoke around 3:40 a.m. He said, "I'm stopping to grab coffee," he said to his wife. "Then I'm back on the road," she recalled. "That was the last time I heard his voice," his wife said. By 9 a.m., the GPS signal on his company's fleet tracking system suddenly went dark somewhere near a stretch of I-40 known for its dead zones and poor surveillance. His rig was later discovered parked in an abandoned lot outside of Little Rock, Arkansas. Empty, locked, and engine turned off. Eric's phone has not pinged since his wallet was inside the truck, but his keys and logbook were gone. What do you guys think the fuck is going on? I mean, this is not, what do you think is going? Thank you for the $19 donation. I don't know who left that donation because if I click it, for some reason it's taking me off of YouTube. What do you guys think is going on? Hold on, give me 1 second. Let's do something really fast. I mean, it's kind of obvious of what's going on, but I'm asking you guys' opinion because there should be an outroar in the African American community for this. This is not the first or last time, and this will continue to happen if there's nothing done about this. Trust and believe this will continue to happen. It's been happening. He is not the first and last truck driver that this is going to happen to. I can continue to bring you other situations right now, and I can give you names of truck drivers that have disappeared. There's something that is going on, you guys. Boss lady, thank you for the donation. Okay, listen. There's something that is going on. Can you guys hear me? You guys hear me good? Because I know sometimes, my sound be kind of in and out sometimes, but I think I'm good now because I don't have to worry about this freaking phone, people calling me on this phone. So I think we're good. I think I'm good. I think we're good. Okay. All right. There's something strange going on, but particularly with these drivers. And they're always going through these small ass little country towns. Though I call it the sundown towns, as everybody calls it, as it's been called since back in the day. And these drivers are disappearing. Hold on. Is it coincidence? Did they go somewhere, park, get out the car, and walk into? It's always this walk into the forest thing. Like the keys are inside, the wallet's inside, and they're just parked in some desolate area. Now I know that stretch of road, the I-40, when you're going through Arizona. I've driven that like on a regular basis. But he was found in Arkansas. What did Pinhole say? Pinhole, what are you on here doing, bro? Fuck up off of here with the bullshit. Now, if you're gonna be on here with the bullshit, I will have the moderators block you. This is a serious conversation. We don't have time for the clown and the little monkey games, bro. So don't come up in here with that. Don't come up in here, peanut. You acting just like a motherfucking peanut. Don't come up in here with your bullshit, man. We ain't got time for that shit. We're up in here for a serious conversation. Get the fuck up out of here if you're gonna play games. I'm gonna give you one more chance to come correct. Say some bullshit again. Princess, hi. Subject is another black truck driver has disappeared, and nobody knows where he is. His GPS just went dark. They found his truck with his wallet in it, and I think let me see what else was in his truck. Give me 1 second. They found his truck with his wallet in it, and it was empty, locked, with his wallet in it, and his keys and his logbook were gone. So whoever told him to get out of that truck, maybe at gunpoint, I'm thinking, because black men gonna fight for their life. Samara said this is horrible. It is absolutely horrible, Samara. This shit has to stop. This, that I mean, and I'm tired of black people talking about it, and we're not doing shit about it. This is why I'm on here now. I am tired of black people talking about it. Like, we need to do something about this. We need to spread this. We need to contact authorities. I mean, it's the same old fucking story, and I'm tired of it, man. Indian Rangers, if you're coming in here with bullshit, I'm gonna let you know. Come in with respect. I suggest every truck driver, and I know companies don't want truck drivers to carry their pow pows, but I suggest carry your shit because nobody's protecting these black truck drivers. Who the fuck gonna protect them? There's nobody protecting these black truck drivers. Who? Regina, absolutely. It has to stop. Let's read some other names. See, this is not just this guy. This is not just this gentleman, Eric Darnell. There's a list of black men that have disappeared. This shit is just not cool. And the first thing they say when they find the body, I want you to remember, the first thing they say is they hung themselves. All of a sudden, they they wanted to unlife themselves. That's the narrative that they run, you guys. This shit is ridiculous. Don't forget Javon Maggie, the 21-year-old truck driver. Don't forget about him. He's another one. He's from Chicago. He was found hanging from a tree in Henderson, North Carolina. He had gotten his CDL license in June. He had just got his CDL license. This is bullshit. Who's ambushing our black truck drivers? Black people do not. Let me tell you something. For all of you that might not know, that are not black, that are coming across this channel, I want you to understand. Black people don't unlike themselves. It's not normal. There's certain things in certain communities that are normal. That's not normal in our community. We don't do that. I'm just letting you know. And I'm so fucking tired of them saying, oh, he unliked himself. Yeah, he just put himself up there on the tree, grabbed the rope, and hopped off. I'm tired of that. Another one, Alabama truck driver, 1 year ago, goes missing. It looks like it says Eagle. Mont Eagle. We don't hear shit about that one either. I'm just saying, look at this. Here's another one. Body of truck driver found on a farm months after his disappearance. That was April 25th, 2024. He went missing November the 21st, 2023. Then they found his body and later on. Body was found on the farm. How his body end up on the farm? Another truck driver, Amazon Prime truck driver. His name was Jason Pearson. He was missing a long time, found unalive. Here we go again. Black truck drivers missing in Arizona. On a foggy night, a long haul truck driver, Devin Williams. Y'all, this shit is crazy. If there's not something weird going on, man, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the list. You want me to count how many are missing? This shit's not normal. Black truck drivers. You're gonna have to start arming yourself. I know it's against the policy. I get it. I know. You don't think these other drivers don't have something on them? I just can't see myself as a truck driver out there on the road, driving through all these small towns, and I don't have some sort of protection to protect myself. The police are not going to protect you in these small towns. It's obvious because as soon as a black man goes missing, they don't know shit. The trucking company is not going to protect you. You already know that. How long you been driving trucks? Look at all the political stuff you deal with them not paying some truck drivers. They'll have them work. And then my buddy tells me all the time, certain companies he can't mess with no more because they had him out there working and owes him thousands of dollars and have not paid him. He had to just get up and switch and go to another company and lose all the money he got. This is how they doing black truck drivers, y'all. Here's another one. 36-year-old black truck driver unalive in Newton. His name is Tommy Lee Wilson. This was 2016. I'm just giving you the timeline of all the bullshit, y'all. Here's another one. November the 7th, 2023. Body of truck driver missing out of Maryland. Black truck driver. His name was Jason Pearson, 42 years old. You want another one? Here's another one. Missing truck driver found 4 months later. Who's responsible? They don't give a fuck. Here's another one. April the 25th, 2024. A body found in northwest Iowa field has been identified as the missing truck driver discovered not far from where his truck was abandoned. His abandoned rig was found. This is such bullshit. It said missing, truck report, missing cases. Very interesting, it says. Wondering if truckers may be able to help. Shit is so much bullshit going on, man. Here's another one. Devin Williams, a 10-ton semi-truck crashing through the woods. The driver of the truck was Devin Williams, a 29-year-old father of 3. Y'all want to see another one? November. It's weird. I'm noticing a lot of these are Novembers too. Kind of strange. David Schultz, 53 years old, was first reported missing by his wife on November the 21st, 2023. Schultz's wife, Sarah, told KCC that her husband's body was found in a farm field. Now here's my buddy, Kenyatta, who's a truck driver. Can you hear me, Yada? This is Yada, aka DJ Yada, film director, artist, good friend of mine. We've been friends since we was young dudes. But he owns his own trucking company, and we're on here. We're talking about this truck driver that just went missing. Yada. His name is Eric Darnell. I'm sorry. He just went missing the other day. And you and I had a conversation one time about this, and I always worry about you. And my thoughts with you are, I understand that these companies don't want anybody to carry anything to protect themselves on the truck because they consider that probably a liability, right?
Different locations of where they drop off at don't allow the weapons. So so you can make money, you don't want to really carry weapons. But a lot of them do have weapons because they have dedicated freight. So they go to the same places all the time and they can carry their guns. That's why, one of the guys came up on and got shot up by one of the truck drivers because this is our home. If you see, we inside this cabinet, it's a condo. It's got a bed, 2 beds, one bed up top. It's refrigerator. It's got everything in here, microwave. Well, this one particularly don't have it. But, this is where we live, to say the least. And I think President Trump is going to allow even felons to carry guns again to be able to, protect themselves. Because there's a different mind state out here of the children and things, out here. And reckless thoughts. They don't have really the care. Even women, I want to get off the subject here about the truck driver. It's just sad that those things are happening with health-wise.
Minds into one at some point.
Like the young ladies, I gotta just drop this in there. The young ladies don't cook like our mothers did, and so we all run into. And I know that's kind of off the subject, but we're all running to trucking as a safe zone for making money, and it really ain't. It's so saturated that the market has dropped and top. The freight haven't changed. Lemons haven't changed. Okra haven't changed. Toilet tissue haven't changed. So why are the prices lower? When you're in the store, they're higher. So, they're not paying us out here. I could show you. I don't have it on me right now, but I have, 3 companies I went through work for and with that robbed me for thousands of dollars, as you were mentioning earlier. And that's facts. They're giving this quote unquote, what is that thing called? Lease purchase. It's a lie. It's a scam in most cases. Some run into a situation where they get a good situation and they pay them right. It's just who wants to pay you. Because there'd be somebody at the same company that getting dogged out financially, right? It's just who they choose to take care of. Why? I don't understand. I'm gonna tell you something. Foreigners are coming here with their bad habits, their bad attitudes. They don't really like us. They're running corporations, and they're treating us unfair, and they pocketing all the money, like that movie, Magnificent Seven with Mr. Denzel Washington, when the actor, I forgot his actor's name, the pockety politicians, well, is he pockety owner, the pockety owners that's out here playing the front like they're doing something for you, and the only thing they do is own the equipment, and they want all the money. So a lot of them aren't getting paid. The ones that treat you fair aren't getting paid as much as a driver does, but they have multiple. So let's just say 500 per driver every day, and they got 100 drivers. So they make really some real good money in that sense. But they don't care about us, and that's the thing about all these foreigners coming here. And it was a plethora. Mr. President Trump dropped it down some now, so it's not as bad. You can go at 7 o'clock into a truck stop now and find a place to park. Before it was no can do, and then the law enforcement are cracking down on where you park at. So then you're getting tickets to park on the side of the road, off ramps, on ramps, things of that nature. Especially drivers, beware of Pennsylvania. If you go to rest area and you park, it's filled up. You go park on the ramp. I got 2 tickets already from that. Boom, 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 and they just mean with it, like, we out here gang banging or something, or we out here robbing and stealing, right? They boom, 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 waking us up. It's illegal because we have to be in that sleeper berth 10 hours. We're sleepy, we're tired, we just worked all day, and they don't care. You got to get off. You got to take this ticket and things like that. I don't want to get too much on them. I know they're doing a job because they're told to do, but that has to change as well. But back to what you were saying about the money, it's terrible how they treating everybody out here. I just think they don't have care. They're not from America. Most of the owners, especially in the the Chicago area, all the suburbs is, yeah. Go ahead. Hmm.
Because you and I talk all the time about all kinds of stuff, all our lives. What if? Because there was a point in time there weren't a lot of foreigners from Russia and different places truck driving here in America. Could the unaliving of black men be part of a plan to knock black men out of the trucking industry and scare them into not wanting to be truckers by unliving? Because it didn't used to be like this in the trucking game. We didn't see black men being unlike like this in the 80s and 90s. This wasn't happening. This is some new shit. But what I notice in comparison with this happening is we have a lot of truck drivers from different countries, specifically from Russia now, who are running a lot of these big companies now. And I just think it's just kind of strange and coincidental that that many black truck drivers are being unlived and nobody's solving any of these situations, these unliving with people. Nobody knows what happened. They're saying the truck drivers just hung themselves. He walked off into the woods. Now you and I both know that's bullshit. But what? And I know you can't be as transparent as you want. I get it, but to me it's just too much of a coincidence that this is happening to black men, and you have all these foreign companies come in and have bought up these trucking companies, and they're also not paying. There's more black men that are not getting paid and getting stiffed on their money than any other race in this trucking game.
They want is what they want, and what they don't want is what they don't want. But I can tell you this: Chicago during President, I don't know if I can say his name or not, but President Obama, during the time they were killing and things. I was on the phone with my dad, which is what, God rest his soul, which was a famous musician, Henry Love. Okay, go ahead.
Employee they pay to keep them. That's fucking bullshit, Tony. Kenyatta's right here. He'll tell you.
You have a beautiful platform that you allow the critics or the fan base to chime in. Awesome. A lot of on mine. I mean, they probably won't get the time of day, right? But that's much love for him chiming in. Tony got to be real with himself. Now, what nationality is Tony? That's the first thing you want to ask.
Nationality are you, Tony? We'll be waiting. Until then, I'll let Kenyatta finish with what he was saying.
Drivers, which are drivers that smoke weed. Who was that chimed on? Who smoked the most weed, right? And then so they charge $600 to come back in the game. And then imagine 1 million people, 1 million of them got caught smoking weed. The weed wasn't, they were getting away with it at the tests and things like that. The weed wasn't as potent uh, before where they can drink something and get it away. Now they have, uh, what is it, at truck stops, CBD, Delta 8. It took me personally 4 months to clean up from that Delta 8, right? So I know it personally. And I know a lot of staff drivers. So what a lot of companies are doing in Chicago, and it's real facts, are hiring the staff drivers at a lower rate to make more money. It just happened to be predominantly us. That's just what it happened to be. During the Obama administration, there was a lot of killings in Chicago. Everyone's aware of this. I was on the phone with my father. I was mentioning earlier, Henry Love. I heard gunshots. I thought my dad don't watch movies. I heard gunshots. A lot of unaliving. Right. I'm hearing this go on for 30 minutes. Dad, what movie is that you're watching? This sounds good. I want to go watch it. A lot of shooting and killing. I guess that's what we love, right? And he said, no, that's not. He was in Beverly Hills at the time in Chicago. He said, no, that's not a TV. That's outside. And some of the Chicago's, and we might get in trouble for this one, so I'm going to be really quick on the subject and off of it, that it was mercs or mercenaries that they were fighting, not just other gangbangers. And that happened to look like, allegedly, Russians and Serbians and things like that, right? So a lot of killing. I'm talking about, what, 400 unaliving, excuse me, unaliving. So on a killing, unaliving, a lot of unaliving, and around that time, and I can't put it on no one, so I say allegedly, but that demographic is what they told me it was. Some of the guys in Chicago. So big up to Chicago because they defended their land, they defended their homes, they stayed there because you got to understand, Chicago, most blacks sit on a important piece of real estate, which is Southside Chicago, right by the water. All right. So we don't need to go no more on that. So we won't have to. Yeah, we have to do. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. No. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I believe it as well.
Black truck drivers. If you're gonna do something to black people, why not any average black person driving on the road? Why is it just black truck drivers? To me, it seems like it's a tactic to scare black men into becoming truck drivers so they can stay out the game. That's really what it feels like to me, like a message being sent.
Imagine it takes water, syrup to mix it together. Put a little bit of what is that called? The bubbles. I can't think of the ingredient to make a soda pop. We don't own Coca-Cola. Is what I'm trying to say. We don't own all these businesses that we go pick up. It's only so many manufacturers that manufacture and produce. We own nothing. So now we all run into trucking, the lowest form, really a slavery position. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it's a servant position. When you think about Frito Lay or all these big major companies, you think about the product. You don't think about who has to transport the product. It's the lowest position. It's the servant's position. We're servants out here. You understand? We're servants. And I admit that. I came years ago. Somebody told me, I won't tell his name. I'm gonna tell on you, but he said, "Hey man, I know you're doing your movies. I know you're doing this and that. You can make a lot of money in trucking, like $3,000 a week." I said, "Okay." Well, my first check was $300, so he got the three right, right? At Swift, 25 cents a mile. You got to pay your dues. When I did start making bigger money, I just, like you were saying earlier, I got robbed for. I made 7,000. They gave me $900, and then the last one didn't pay me my check because I didn't agree with what they were paying me. And legally, I returned the truck, returned their paperwork and everything. They did not give me my last check. That's going on out here. It's a lot of cases in Chicago being filed on the labor board because they're not, brothers are not getting their last check. They're working for free out here. When in 2025, we talking about slavery back in whatever day, which is a whole nother topic because we're the indigenous people. I have pictures of me and my mom with native hats on years ago. And now that people are waking up seeing and knowing that we are the indigenous people, then we need to start understanding why are everybody's against us? Why we keep on begging? I have never seen nobody win a war begging. Name one movie. Oh, please don't kill me. Oh, you know what? You beg so well, I'm gonna let you go. It'd be better unaliving. Did I say killing again? I mean that word. I mean that word. Woo, woo. Unaliving. I know. Hey, I know it. Yeah. For what? For what? We're so scared about rent, bills, and I mean, just go a day without that, go a week without that. Like everything that we're fighting for is free. The ideology of what they put in the material world that you don't have a Benz um, or a Lamborghini means you less than. Come on, you got to change that thought. You're greater than. The thing is, what we fighting for? Apples are free. Waters are free. Trees that we make paper and all that's free. Air free. Everything's free. But we're hurting one another. I didn't say that other word. We're hurting one another. And then not only top we hurting one another because our minds ain't right, they're hurting us. You're saying the unaliving. It's gotta stop. We gotta stop at some point and say, all right, enough is enough. But we so detached. And for the youth that's watching, we were in the 70s, I caught the last bit of beautifulness. Beautiful brothers together, go to somebody's house, barbecue. You didn't have to know them. Hey, get a plate. Women were concerned about, you know what I mean? You hear the term with our ancestors used to say, the elders used to say, you look you look thin. Come in here and get a plate. Eat. They look forward to taking care of you. This younger generation, a lot of you women don't know how to boil water. You know, boil a little off a little bit. It's supposed to bubble first before you serve the hot dog, right? So yeah, they're gonna eat me up for that one. I know they are. Okay, all right, that'll work. Yeah, thank you. Mhm. Right, 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 right. I just can't tap into that. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I just know out here, used to be a lot of us. It's not anymore. So a lot of you ain't coming to trucking, which is good. If you're coming out here, it used to be 18 speeds. It'd be hard. We had to have technique in order to do this job. But now it's automatic. All right, no gear shift. Look, yeah, it's automatic. So a lot of people just come in the trucking thing but it's still technique because you have to maneuver. It's a street like that street right there. I got to make a right turn on to get into a building right here, which is right there. This door was the old door that you had to get, but look at a restaurant there. So it's another door like this door that's around the front, and that door is a doozy as well. It's not all. It's in a tight environment. That trailer, there you can see the trailer right there. Yeah, you got to get that trailer 53 foot inside that. And so I've had a lot of years in it. I thought I was gonna get rich, like I said, or at least wealthy enough. The sustainability of financial. I don't know where these people be online talking about. I'm a millionaire trucking. I don't see it. I know. Yeah, that's a lot of cap. I mean, even if it's one or two, it's still lottery. You know, there's a lot of millionaires that's in music. A lot of millionaires in life that has a darker or that are melanated. But yeah, so to answer your question, I don't know what's going on out here. I stay 100. You know, we from areas of United States where we learned how to maneuver. You in the Illinois area, me in the California area, were different from Jamaicans to Russians to everything. Everything, we learned how to balance ourselves and be well rounded with it. They're calling me in, but I really thank you for allowing me to be on your platform. You see the guy coming, he coming to get me right now. DJ Yada, this DJ Yatta everywhere. This Instagram, Facebook, whatever you need, just follow me. Love y'all. Love you, man. Thank you for having me. Yes, sir. All right. Love your show. Yes, sir. Wow.
Like I was saying, that's a really good friend of mine. Him and I grew up together. He's in the entertainment industry, but he owns a trucking company, his own trucking company. And I figured what better person to have on here to talk about what's going on with these truckers disappearing than him. He agrees with me. There is something that's strange. I also said to him, what if, just what if these are two companies competing against each other for business? And so you go and you take out a people's employees. One company is out here taking out people's employees. That's just a theory. I'm not naming any companies' names. I'm just saying, what if? Because there is billions of dollars in that business. And when one company gets a route, typically they might have that route for maybe a 2-year contract, or maybe 3, or maybe a 1 year. So is it beyond the thought of wondering what if this is a competitive thing with companies and they're just not taking out white employees? They decide to take out their competitors are taking out the black employees because they feel, well, maybe it's not going to be investigated, and or we can take out some black and drivers from that company that we're competitors with, and they're not even going to think twice about investigating it. It would be a cold piece of game if that's what's going on in the trucking game. Once again, that's a theory of mine, because I can't seem to figure out why, out of all these years, it hasn't been an issue with truck drivers disappearing. And then all of a sudden, this started happening when a lot of these companies start being bought by foreign investors who came into the US and decided to purchase these companies. And now the black drivers are being unalived, and nobody knows what's happening. What happened? They walked into the forest. Black people ain't walking into nobody's forest unless they got a whole bunch of people with them. That's just not something that black people do. We're careful people. We don't just wander off into some shit. We don't go to try to explore nothing. That's not nothing we do. We will not just go and explore. We don't be like, oh shit, let's go see what's in the forest at night. We don't do that. And y'all just got to understand that those that are not black, the black people don't do that. I don't know what to tell you. I want you to understand, when you see black people disappearing, that black people don't go into forests searching for shit unless they're hunting with their family or friends. Bridget said, so true, Stone. Yeah, Bridget, come on. We ain't gonna just pull over. Even if we pull over at night somewhere, we looking in the forest like shit. That shit look dark as shit. We're not trying to explore. Hunter and Patty said, do you think they seen something they shouldn't, like what they were loading? Hunter, that is a great theory. And maybe they weren't with it and they didn't agree with it. And all of a sudden, now they got to figure out how to get rid of that person. That's something to think about. I didn't even think about that. Hunter and Patty, that's very, very deep. Timothy said, that's right, Stone. You never see black people in slasher films. Why? Because black people not dealing with it. If they hear noise, it's time to go. Facts. We're careful people. We will not go explore where a sound is coming from. Damaged Kitchen said, well, I'm not black, but I observe, and from my experience in the vessel, I agree. Timothy said, us dumb white people first ones to see what. Listen, let me tell you, my friend went up to the mountains the other day. He just sent me, listen, I would send him, he would go up in the mountains, right? And so one time he posted this picture, my white buddy, and he was in the mountains. So I took this bear and put this bear behind him and with the graphics and made it look like the bear was looking at him. So then that was like last year. So he messaged me last night. They were up in Yosemite and the damn bear came into the camp and they videoed the bear. The bear tried to get it, it got into the tent, into their pod, but then the bear tried to get into the SUV while they were in there. Hey, y'all, black people ain't doing all that extra shit. I'm sorry. They're just not doing it. What did Linda say? Linda said, hold on, I don't see. Kim said it's bigger than what we know. Kim, I agree. Oracle Capital said, for real, for real. Listen, there is something going on. Now, it's either this. Remember, I said it. And I don't know if they'll ever get to the bottom of it. Either these companies are competing with each other for the contracts. So they're taking out drivers, and it's easier to take out black drivers because it's not going to be investigated. And they're not going to take out the black drivers. Or there's something bigger going on where they're trying to scare black men into not being drivers because there is a big migration of folks coming over here to be drivers. So either they're trying to scare black men into not wanting to be drivers by unlifing enough of them to where to put fear into black men thinking about becoming a driver, or companies are competing against each other for contracts and it's easier to take out the black drivers. And if you take out enough drivers, then may the greatest person win the contracts. I don't know. These are my theories. These are my theories. That Diswa said, I am happy you're highlighting it through and hope people will make noise about it. I hope so. That Diswa, I really hope so, because this is a serious issue. Bridget said, we are experiencing strange things in the USA. Yes, we are, Bridget. Teresa said, that's something to think about. Is it not, Teresa? Isn't it? I mean, it's not far-fetched from, you heard what he said. He couldn't go deep into expanding on it. But it wouldn't be far-fetched for us to think or to have the idea of, damn, this could be bigger than just what we think it is. This could be contracts. This could be not wanting black men even in the business at all. So if we take out, I mean, think about the fear they would put into black people. But when the slave masters would beat a slave in front of other, black slaves to scare them, to letting them know this is what's going to happen to you if you try to run away. You don't think that same psychology works to this day with unaliving black men, and you got these young black men trying to become drivers and OGs? I'm gonna tell you guys something. Sometimes when I'm talking, if I'm upstairs in the studio, I promise you, y'all see me look up. I'm, this is off the subject, but this is crazy. This is something amazing happens sometimes when I'm talking. Not all the time. As I'm talking, when I've been upstairs hosting on the couch upstairs or here in the studio, it's like something will be standing over me, and then all of a sudden something drops, like a little piece of lint, and it drops right in front of me. And y'all see me look down, right? I look down and I did that. because it happens to me all the time. I never can figure out what it is, some sort of energy, something positive, but it's almost like I'm here and it just drops down in front of me like somebody was standing over me just sprinkling a piece of lint, and there's nothing above me but my ceiling, right? So it just literally, did you guys see it drop? Something dropped down. I have to go back and watch the video. But it's hard for me not to believe. I do have these protectors around me, like seriously. Like, I'll tell you a story. Guardian angels, Hunter and Patty said, yes. Listen, let me tell you something. And I know I'm jumping subjects. There was this guy that was sitting here in my studio with his wife. And Cambodian Mystique, she'll tell you, she was here back then. This was probably like 2 or 3 years ago. His wife was sitting where I'm sitting. He was sitting to the right. Cambodian Mystique was somewhere here, and then I had one of my rappers. Cambodian Mystique was sitting on the steps. My rapper was Bum Bum was on that side. The guy, he called himself King Tut. He came here to record. He started saying to me, he started doing some weird stuff. Like he kept looking over to the right side. He kept looking over, right? I already knew what he was about to say because he's not the only one that's coming here and said what he said. But I thought it was interesting because what he said was even deeper than what the other people had said. Um, he said, you have protectors. Now, I never told him I was a Buddhist because in Buddhism, there's protectors they believe in Buddhism. There's these huge protectors that protect you. So he says, you have protectors around you. Now, he was watching from the left to the right, and I saw him doing this. I said, what are you doing? I already knew it. His wife goes, oh my God, here we go. Here we go. Oh, he does this everywhere he goes. That's what she says. I said, it's okay. Go ahead and let him talk. I said, well, go ahead and say what you're about to say. He said, man, you got protectors. I said, okay, okay, okay. And I'm saying that to him, right? And he's just looking at me. He's staring. He's like, they both went around you. He's saying they're big. He said they're huge. This is just what he said. I kid you not. That night he left. He said, you and I meeting are like the supernova planets colliding. His exact words. Our energy. He said, man, we got to do something together. As he was talking, he talked about Washington, D.C. No, he said Tupac told him to come in the studio and finish the verse on the that he didn't finish on the Come With Me, Hail Mary song. He said, Tupac told me to come in the studio. This guy's name was King Tut. His exact words. Tupac told me to come in the studio and finish this song. Now, he didn't know that I was the first producer to produce a tribute to Tupac, right? So I told him, I said, hey, go look at that wall over there. And he went and looked. He said, oh, I said, yeah. I said, I met Pac back in 92, not before he was with Death Row, right? He was with Interscope on his first album. It had the Brenda's Got a Baby thing. And I said, I met him in DC, right? So I'm telling him the story. Then I'm telling him I was in DC when they first did that performance with him and Biggie. And he said, oh, I was going to school in DC. The whole thing was crazy, right? And so anyway, he recorded, we talked. He told me about the protectors he saw come around me. He said they came from the right side of my room, and they both, as he was talking to me, he said they stood around me, and he was looking like he saw something as he was looking at me. But I'm used to that. He was like this. He said, man, they're big. Listen, he leaves. I don't hug people. It's not something I always do. I usually will bow to people because I don't like to mix my energy. I don't like I don't know what people pray about. I don't know who they pray on. So I won't shake people's hand mostly. I won't. That's just something I've always done. It's rare. I might make a mistake and do it, but I practice on not hugging or shaking people's hand. That's just something. If I hug you, I must have felt something great to do it. But I typically won't do it at all. I walk him outside. I give him a hug, right? He leaves. When people leave my studio, I sage my whole house because I have so many people coming and going. I sage my house. I start saging downstairs in the garage. I come in through the studio and then I typically make my way upstairs. Check this out. Cambodian Mystique is here right now. She'll tell you. At that time, Cambodian Mystique was in the kitchen. I had the sage on the plate, and I don't know if you've ever saged with sage on the plate. For those of you that have, What I'm about to share with you is going to blow your mind. So I have the sage in my hand, and I'm walking, saging, going up the steps with the, I think I had the feather, and I'm going up the steps, and I typically will place the plate on the table when I'm done. Before I could put that plate on the table, it exploded in my hands into probably, I'm not over exaggerating, maybe 15,000 or more little pieces of shards. Yeah, went all on my rug. I thought my rug was gonna catch on fire. It shot all the way over to the balcony, to my balcony door, which was at least 20 feet away, right? At least 20 feet away. Cambodian Mystique heard the sound. She ran from the kitchen and said, "What was that?" I said, "Oh my God." And I'm still holding my hand out like that. I said, "The plate exploded." And it sounded exactly like this. Exactly like that. She heard it, but she didn't see it. And she stopped. She thought I was cut. My moderator, Cambodian Mystique, she'll tell you. I was holding my hand like this, and there's still pieces of the plate in my hand. The rest of it was on the floor, and I'm stumping the floor to stop it from catching on fire. I called that dude, King Tut. I took a picture of it, and then I say to him, "Hey, man, you won't believe what happened." I said, "Remember when you were talking, you saying you and I meeting are like two different planets, the supernova planets colliding?" He said, "Yeah." I said, "Look at that picture I just sent you." He looked at it. He said, "Oh, shit, what's that?" I said, "That plate with the sage on it exploded." It's not normal for a plate to explode with sage on it. That's not even normal. You know how hot that plate would have to get for it to explode? And then it didn't explode in three big pieces. It exploded in so many little pieces, so many small pieces. It was amazing. But let me tell you something. He might be watching. King Tut, if you're watching, he never came back to my house after that. I don't know why. I don't know what reason he didn't come back, but he never came back to the studio after that. And to this day, he never told me why. I'm actually going to ask him, "How come you never came back?" But he was very nervous about those protectors. Not like scared, but he was, when he was seeing them, he was just blown away. And he wasn't the first person. There's been people that come in here all the time to tell me, "Man, it's something energy going on in your house." I tell them I meditate and I chant all the time. Everybody does the same thing he does. They'll look around, they'll say, "Another guy came here and he did the same thing." He didn't go into depth of what the other person was saying, but he did say some deep stuff. So, that's just explaining that whole little situation. And it happened to me upstairs too. So yes, I definitely have protectors around me for sure. But back on this trucking thing, there is something going on, you guys. I want all my drivers, I want all the drivers that are out there to be careful. All my African American drivers, get your concealed permit, concealed carry, and try to get it for every state. Do not be out here driving without something on you. That's just my advice. I would not be carrying loads across country as a black man, going here and there and here and there, and then you don't have protection. Because at the end of the day, the only protection you will have is yourself. So if you don't protect yourself, then you can become a story. Another one of those stories that they're going to be telling, because they're not caring. They're getting the young dudes and the older black guys. It don't matter. They're not biased about who they're grabbing. They're grabbing the 19, 20-year-old drivers, and they're grabbing the 40 and 50-year-old drivers. So that should tell you they don't care. And we have to be a voice. Stephanie West, Afternoon Stone. Stephanie West said, "Afternoon Stone, I just stopped on your channel. I heard you mention about sage in your house. My question is, how do one sage?" Very interesting. Boris the Beast, what's happening, family? Stephanie, I sage. What I do when I sage. So this is what I do. I have my feather. It's a feather. I get the sage. I get the white sage, and I sage, and I spread it. I go into all the dark places in my house, all the dark corners. I typically open windows. I like it light in my house. I like, even in the studio, I might open some of the windows. I like light because dark energy likes dark places. So I will sage all the dark places in the house. Leslie Murray, thank you for the donation. I really appreciate the super chat. I think a super chat donation. Thank you so much, sweetie. I appreciate you. So I will sage all the dark parts in my house. I have a feather. There's a feather that will come with it, and you sage. Hold on, let me grab it. Now, now, if I wasn't looking for that feather, it would have been sitting right there. Now that I went to go look for it, I can't. Anyway, there's a feather, and you sage with the feather. And this is the sage I use, the white sage. It's the one I use, and I sage after everybody leaves my house. I sage. It good part about it too. It also cleans the air in your house. Sage is good for purifying and cleansing the air. So I get that. I light it, and I'll go around the house in all the dark spaces, and all the areas, especially where people were frequent when they come in my studio. I also sage around my house. Now let me tell you another crazy story. Christopher Williams was here recording in my studio that day. My buddy Tim that owns Eminem's restaurant in Vegas. He was the owner of Eminem's. Him and Christopher had showed up at my house. Now, I was saging all the time, even extra, even more. So all of a sudden I get a text, hey man, there's a big bird in your garage. And it's coming from Christopher Williams. And I said, what? He said, yeah, we're outside. There's a huge bird inside your garage. Because I left the garage open for them so they can come into the studio, right? So I said, a bird? So I'm already nervous to go out in the garage because they say it was big. Is what they say is not a normal bird. They didn't know what the bird was. I get to the garage, the damn bird is looking at my door, and he's like, he's looking at my door. He's like trying to figure out how to open, like almost like he was trying to figure out how to get in. So I said, hey, I didn't want to scare him. I said, hey, buddy, what are you doing? You want to come inside? And I'm talking to the bird. He walks out the garage. Christopher Williams, and Tim, they get out the car and they're laughing. And the bird goes around out my garage and goes up my steps. I have this recorded somewhere. It's somewhere on my phone. Somewhere I have it. So he goes up my steps and he's looking at the front door, like trying to figure out, like, how in the hell do I get in this house? So now I'm freaked out. I'm trying to figure out what is this bird doing. I found out it was a roadrunner. Now, if anybody knows about roadrunners, if you don't, go look up roadrunners and you'll see how shy and elusive roadrunners are. They don't just come up to nobody's house. They don't just walk up to people's house. So then I go up to try to, I didn't want to scare it. And it comes down the steps and then it disappears on the side and goes through my neighbor's yard and I don't see it. I don't see it anymore. Right. So then all of a sudden, the next day, my neighbor texted me and said, hey, there's a big bird under your car. I said, what? I said, what does it look like? And I'm thinking that can't be that same bird and came back. The roadrunner came back. But when I went outside to look for it, I didn't see it. I didn't. I've been in Nevada for years, and first time in my life I've ever seen a roadrunner. He came to my house. I didn't go to the zoo. I didn't have to go anywhere. That damn bird looked like he stood from the floor to maybe about, honestly, 3 or 4 feet high. Right? I didn't have to go to the zoo to see a roadrunner. So I went and looked it up. And old Indian myths believe that if a roadrunner visits you, it's a good omen. It means blessings. It means protection coming to you. And I just thought that that was amazing when I looked it up. That's what that means, because roadrunners don't just show up at people's doors, but this one literally showed up at my door and wanted to get inside. And so the Indians, the Navajo, the Cherokee, they believe that that is a sign of protection and wealth. That bird is there to show you that you are protected, and that's their belief. And that wealth and other things, all nothing but positive. So when I read that, I was blown away. Never seen that roadrunner again. but I saged. And at that time, I was saging outside of my house on a regular basis. I was saging outside of my house when clients would leave. Yeah, real story, you guys. I know you probably like Stone stories be crazy, but no, this is for real. Christopher Williams texted me and said, "Bro, we're sitting outside your house. There's a big ass bird in your garage. That's a big bird in your garage." I was like, "What?" It was a damn roadrunner. How many of you guys ever had a roadrunner come to your front door? How many? How many people that had a roadrunner come to your front door? I'm just saying. Back to the truck driver thing. We have an issue in Black America, in America general. Our Black men are being ambushed on these freeways as truck drivers. Somebody's ambushing them. Somebody's either following them, convincing them to pull over, maybe forcing them off the road. I don't know. Something is going on. Whatever it is, it's not normal. Linda said, I would have went and played the lottery. You know what, Linda? I know. If it comes back again, I'm going to do that. That buddy wanted to get in my house. He wanted inside the house. And I wonder if I'd have let him inside, what he would have done. I was thinking about opening the door and just letting him in. Damaged Kisses said, that's pretty cool. I like your stories. People be thinking my stories are crazy too until they are in the company, in my company and experience. Yes, Damaged Kisses. Most people think my stories are made up. That's why I love having people that were there that confirm it. Like, no, I was there when y'all, he ain't lying. Yeah, people, because my stories sound like movies. They don't even sound normal. Yeah, man. It's crazy. But we do have a problem. So any young men wanting to be a truck driver and you're African American, just prepare to, get your concealed permit as you're testing to be a truck driver. Also, go get your concealed permit and try to get it for as many states as you can. There are programs where you can get your concealed permit for every state. You can take the test. I've seen it. I have a concealed permit. You can get your permit for different states. So I suggest that's something you think about doing, um, because I would not be a truck driver and just out here just free falling with my moves. I mean, obviously there's something going on, and it's the unlifing of Black truck drivers, and nobody's caring about it. Nobody's caring enough to say, I need to go and make a difference. I need to try to figure out what's happening. We need to figure out what's happening to these Black drivers. Nobody's talking about it on Fox. Nobody's talking about it on CNN. We have to bring the news here. And I suggest all of you guys talk about this. Talk about it with your family and friends. So you got cousins that are truck drivers. Share this. Get on your social media and just do a post about it. Please. The latest person, this guy name is Eric Darnell. If you get a moment, do a post about him. Just do a post with his picture and just say justice for Black truck drivers. Justice for Black truck drivers. This shit is weird and it's crazy and it's uncomfortable. That I-40 freeway that Eric Daniel guy drives down, you know how many times I've driven down that freeway at night and day? Hey, Barbara. Yes, we have to. Because, see, the thing is, the mainstream media is not talking about this. So the only way the message is going to get out is if Black content creators, we want to, it's too many Black content creators talking trash about each other. Why don't we talk trash about the real trash that's going on, the bullshit with our people being unalive? Why don't we share that information instead of being negative about another content creator? Stephanie West said, I just called my cousin to inform him. Thank you, Stephanie. Leslie Murray said, that's crazy. I didn't know. Yes, Leslie, it's happening for real. Teresa Harris said, what if we can start our own company? That's an idea, something we should do. Cece said, a hot story of Route 66 and my Black truck driver X. Come on with it, CC. Lisa Frazier said, target, Stone. Hit it, nailed it right on target. Damaged Kisses said, that's a good idea, Teresa Harris. It is. Desire, hey. Desire Fire, haven't seen you in a minute. It's good to see you. Oh, man. We're missing you too, Desire. Thank you so much for coming in. I hope your membership is up to date, and with so much stuff going on, so much stuff is going to be happening. I will be in Connecticut on October the 10th and 11th, performing in Connecticut. They just messaged me today, so we're finalizing the paperwork. I think between now and August 1st. I'm just waiting for the email to come in for the final contract for my band and I. Leslie, doesn't it? Leslie said it sounds like elimination scary. So Leslie, earlier I brought my truck driver friend on here, and I said it sounds like to me that this could be two things happening. Either these corporate companies are competing for contracts, and so they're unlifing other companies' employees, and it's easier to unlife black drivers because nobody's going to care. Or this is a coup to scare black drivers, new black drivers, into wanting to be a truck driver. It's either or. Because how do you explain that many black truck drivers being unalive, and then the excuses they're making is, oh, they decided to just go out and walk out into the dark forest and just unalive themselves and hang themselves. That's bullshit. Black people don't do that. Now, I'm not saying there's black people that haven't unalived themselves, but per capita, we don't do that shit. Nita said, I believe you, you love your stories. They're amazing. I can see through your eyes that you're gifted. You're the chosen one. I see things through dreams like David in the Bible since I was a child. Wow, Nita, that's deep. Hello, Auntie Mickey. Nita, that's deep. Auntie Mickey, I need you to talk about Eric Darnell on your YouTube channel. It's too many black truck drivers that are passing away. It's too many black truck drivers that are being unalived. So I need all my black content creators to talk about this subject so we can spread the news about this shit that's been happening, and it should stop. It should not be the same story where, well, yeah, he just unalived himself. How can you be driving a truck knowing you got to drop off packages from state to state, and you say, you know what, today I feel like I'm gonna unalive myself. I don't care about my family. I'm just gonna pull over somewhere and leave my keys in the truck, leave my phone, and walk on out in that desert or walk on out in the forest and just unalive myself. And I don't give a damn. He could have unalived himself at home. Why do they have to be out on the road to unalive themselves? Make that make sense. That's bullshit. Damaged Kisser said, I agree. That literally never, yeah. Yeah, and here's the crazy part, Damaged Kisses. There was a time you would have never heard nothing like this happening to a truck driver. Ever. People would be scared. My uncle was a truck driver. People would be scared to even come up to a truck driver because they knew truck drivers kept their pows on them. Do you understand what I'm saying? So to me, this is an orchestrated situation. Whoever's doing it, they're not even scared to approach these truck drivers. And somehow these truck drivers seem to be comfortable with these people. So to me, it's got to be somebody they know, or this person is doing something that's familiar with the truck driver that makes them feel comfortable enough to get their asses out of the truck, or they're coming to them at gunpoint saying, get up, get out now. But how are they getting them to pull over? That's why I said it's got to be either they're posing as a police or they're doing something weird to get them to pull over. For the ones that's been pulling over, it's something they're doing to get them to pull. How are they getting them to pull over? Damaged Kisses said it's definitely orchestrated and big. It's definitely big, Damaged Kisses. Auntie Mickey says all by design. That's a fact. Auntie Mickey, the guy's name is Eric. The latest one is Eric Darnell. Please do a live about it, Auntie Mickey. We have to spread the word about stuff like this. But there, CNN, Fox is not talking about it. We are the only outlet, us Black content creators, to share this news and talk about it, or it's not going to get shared. Desire and Fire said, Stone, we had a Black truck driver from Louisiana, Indiana. They stated he came all the way to North Carolina and unalived himself. Claim he unalived himself 3 feet from a tree. Unalived himself 3 feet still on the ground. Okay, it's a 3-foot tree with his feet still on the ground. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Cassandra said, truck stops. Desire said, hi, Desire. Teresa said, oh, man. Yes, Linda said it's happening statewide. It's happening everywhere, Linda. Mostly the South, though. Teresa said, they can shut their trucks off when they switch from the company. Yes, they sure can. Listen, which is why I said, what if, to my buddy that was on here earlier, you guys missed him. Barbara Weaver said, I plead the blood of Jesus over my grandson who is a truck driver. Please, Barbara, let him know to pay attention and tell him if he can go get a concealed permit and keep his gun with him. Please, Barbara. Leanne Newman said, it's an ambush of some kind, like telling them something's wrong with the tire to get someone to stop. There's different ways. Yes, I agree. CC said the cartel want their loads. Yeah, but the loads are not being taken though, CC. The loads, here's the crazy part. Nothing in the truck is being touched except for the driver. And then this Eric Darnell, they cut his GPS off. Like maybe somebody told him cut that shit off. Bring your logbook with you. Why would they make him take his logbook with him and march them on out to? They'll find his body soon. Mark my word. We're gonna look up. He's gonna be hung on a tree somewhere, or they're just gonna be like, nah, we can't do the hanging on the tree. We done that one in every case. We got to make this one a little different. We got to just throw his body somewhere and let them find it. Barbara said he knows and he has a permit to. Beautiful, beautiful. Barbara, that makes me feel good. Cassandra said they are targeting them at the truck stops. Yeah, they're targeting them at the truck stops, but the question is how are they getting them to stop? See, Black men ain't just gonna pull over. It would have to be the police, or it have to be dispatch telling them to pull over and check their tires or something. And Black folks ain't just pulling over for your ass. Not no Black truck drivers, and not Black people in general. And we don't pull over to dark places at night. That's some shit we don't do. We don't do it. Not out in the middle of nowhere. Make sure you guys hit like. Thank you. Make sure everybody's hitting like, please. And thank you for the hearts too. I appreciate you for that. Please, please, absolutely, absolutely, please. I ask everyone to share this story. Please, man, do it for me. We are the only way this is going to get out to make enough noise to keep it in the public's eye. DL said, who stole him? Who stole who, DL? The driver? Yeah, he's disappeared. Nobody, but trust DL, listen, watch him show up somewhere. Yeah, DL said who stole him. I don't know what DL's talking about. I don't know if he's talking about who stole the driver. DL, don't get blocked today. Please make yourself clear. Please. Thank you, Leslie. DL, I'm going to count it down. You got about 2-3 seconds to let me know what you're talking about. And I know you cool. I'm going to have to block you. Don't block him yet. I want to see what DL is going to come because we need to know what you're talking about, DL. Awesomeness. Hello. Thank you for stopping in. Hopefully you subscribe to the channel or become a member. It's number love here. We share the love. We share the knowledge. Oh, I know. I did a story about melanin, Tessie. Melanin goes for $350 an ounce. I talked about this on one of my live videos. Melanin is very expensive. I spoke of this on, I can't remember what live I did, but I spoke about this. Melanin is about $380 an ounce, $350 to $380. Leanne said, no stopping, not stopping for nobody. Just keep rolling till you exactly. It happened in some. I think it happened in. Hold on, I'll tell you right now. Hold on, Arkansas. So you know Arkansas, they be down with that. It happened in Arkansas. So there's some weird sundown towns in Arkansas. Use wisdom says, Stone, you're funny, blocking people. You don't be no, no. Listen, use wisdom. If they're not up in here to learn or to have a adult conversation, then that means they're in here for the bullshit, and I don't have time. Now I didn't block DL. I gave him a chance to come back and say what he's talking about. DL said a few drivers came up missing. Some had heart attacks in their truck. See, I told you, DL was just trying to get out what he needs to say. Thank you, DL. Yeah, a few drivers came up missing. Some had heart. Yes, they did. You're right. But a majority of them, it was bullshit. We talking about the ones that, not the ones that had the heart attack. We talking about the ones that come up being hung. Awesomeness said way too much stuff is happening these days. It is. I mean, listen, I've driven that I-40. I've driven that I-40 on the Arizona side. I never went to Arkansas. I mean, lately, I've been through on that I-40, but I've driven that at night in Arizona, and I've driven it at night through Arkansas. And it can be dark, but I'm not pulling over for nobody. I would damn near have to run out of gas before I would stop. Use wisdom say hanging is just crazy. And say, oh yeah, but you know, every time there's a hanging, use wisdom. They say, they rule it as he killed himself. He unlifed himself. That's a homicide. He unlifed. Yeah, he didn't want to be here. He just happened to be a truck driver who's planning on unlifing himself. He didn't want to be here. He pulled over and just went out into the forest. And if the bears wasn't gonna get him, he was gonna get himself. That's bullshit. Scorpio, I know you're probably watching. Love, peace, and love today to you, Scorpio, if you're watching. CC just mentioned you. You're like, where's Scorpio? Yeah, you guys. Okay, so Leslie said, let me guess, no big invest. No, hey, Leslie, they're not gonna investigate. And we already know that it would have to be constant noise. I would literally have to keep talking about this story and other content creators for us to get justice. Or it'll get swept under the rug like all the other black drivers that disappeared and nobody knew what happened to them. I just think it's weird. We're not hearing this happening to white drivers. You know, everybody's got an excuse for the shit. But we don't hear this happening to Caucasian drivers. Yes. Yes, Lisa. Yeah. Yeah, Tessie. Yeah. You know what, you're right. You know, Tessie just made me realize that I did speak about the melanin. Maybe some of you guys don't know. DL said, imagine the stress that a person is living with to make them kill themselves. What worse is when other people think that the world is a better place without you. Yeah, man. DL, I know, DL. I know, DL. It's just really a sick way of people to think that it's okay not to have a certain race or culture continue to play part in this world. And we play such a big part. On one of my live videos, I stated about this being a big deal because of black people and what melanin is going for per ounce. Now you got to think, there's so many elements to this that this could be. When they've done autopsies on these bodies, they never say if the person's parts of their bodies are all there. They just found the person and say they were. I don't know if the families are having a full autopsy done, or I'm not sure. But I sure would like to know, out of all those bodies they found, if all the body parts were on there. Because nobody ever talks about it afterwards. Melanin goes for 350 to 380 per ounce. Per ounce. That's like on some real live street drug stuff. I mean, even Mary Jane wasn't selling like that. So if somebody told you, listen, I'll pay you $350 per square inch of that body that you can bring to me, man. There's brokers out there to be like, what you need? I need a kidney. I need this. I need eyes. I need this. I need that. People that broker that do that, you don't think they're gonna be looking? Come on, man. It's women disappear every day. Look at all the black women that have disappeared. This is some fucked up shit going on in the world, especially in America. Nita said, I don't drive, but this is way scary. Prayers up to all African American drivers across the nation. And stay prayed up, and blessings to you, Stone, and your moderator staff. Thank you, Nita. 350 to 380 an ounce. Can I have a piece of your skin? Black folks. Cheyenne, hey, what's up, baby girl? Cheyenne's in the house. Cheyenne Owens. Black folks, let me say, can I have a piece of your skin? Can I have your kidney? Can I have your eyes? I'm just saying, we can make some money together. Matter of fact, yeah, let me have one of your kidneys. I'll pay you. I'm just saying, that's where we at. Y'all don't think that's where we're at right now? Awesomeness said the gang stalking is real as well. Yeah, I mean, it's just a lot of crazy shit going on, Awesomeness. It's crazy. DL said they found a driver dead in his driver's seat at a truck stop. After he was dead for 1 week, the smell was floating out of the truck. It was in summer. And like nobody knew. Think about it. Truck drivers are very conscious about other truck drivers. I got a lot of friends that are truck drivers. I just had one on here earlier, right? So that's strange too. Leanne said anything is possibilities nowadays. And that's scary just to go out anywhere that you might be alone and taken away and not found. Leanne, it's not even possible, Leanne Newman, it's happening. They're harvesting organs. It's a known fact. All over the world, right here in America. It's a big business. It's $1 trillion business. Kidneys, hearts, livers. Kidneys, hearts, pancreas. We can keep eyes. It's a big business. Melanin is real. You know what melanin does? I want each and every one of you, when we get off this live, I want you to go search. I want you to go research. How can melanin help you? Just research those things. You know, the usages of melanin. Just go research it, and you'll never question me again. Yeah, Leanne, it's real. Lisa Frazier say, spot on target. It's happening, you guys. Leanne Newman said, my family members work in hospitals and they do these procedures. Yes. I also have a lot of nieces that are nurses, and I have doctors in my family, and we talk about this, Leanne. So it's like most black people probably, some black people just kind of heard of it, but they don't really understand what's really, really going on. Cheyenne said, protect skin from harmful effects. Teresa said, I love doing research. Leanne said, they work in hospitals. Damaged Kisses said, praying for us all. Cheyenne, you know what happens as Caucasian people get older with what happens to their skin, right? So all my Caucasian friends, can you guys tell them what happens to Caucasian people's skin as you get older? Please tell them. I got a lot of Caucasian friends I went to school with. I can tell you, I'm going to let my Caucasian friends on here tell you. This is why melanin is important. They're creating creams. They're creating pills that people are buying at the doctors for their skin. Tessie said, real talk, Stone, they're cloning our ancestral glory. Yes, they are. Amen. Tessie, you're 100% correct. Use Wisdom said, I looked it up. It says melanin protects in the coloring the skin, hair, and eyes. What happens as old people get old? Their eyes, their skin takes huge effects, right? I'm just saying, I'm just saying. I'm just sharing the knowledge. It's not about a beating up on one particular race. It's just about sharing the truth. What happens when there's no melanin in your skin? Although a lot of black people don't like going out in the sun these days, I don't know what the fuck happened to y'all. Auntie Mickey said it ages drastically. Absolutely, Auntie Mickey. Use wisdom already looked it up. She spit it out. What I'm telling you. Black people don't like being in the sun no more. So understand you're also changing the DNA of your body when you don't spend time in the sun. Because genetically, it's meant for black folks to be in the sun. You're not going to be the raisin in the sun. You're just going to be in the sun, and your body absorbs that sun at a high level. It's healing for you. It's spiritual for you, black folks. White people will go out in the sun, but their skins cannot absorb like ours do. It doesn't do the same thing. They can absorb. They can be out there a long time and won't be bothered. They'll get burned, but we won't. There's something to that. Go do your research, and we can have a conversation. Victor said vitamin D. Absolutely. This is here's another thing that they don't tell people. If you go out in the sun 10 minutes a day, a lot of your issues as black folks you won't even have. Black people don't go in the sun anymore. They have so many health issues because we're no longer in the sun like we used to. Teresa said they get age spots and they look real old. Yes, they do. Damaged Kisses said, yes, age spots. F off. Laughing out loud. Hey, Damaged Kisses. Why you? Damaged Kisses got me over here cracking up too. Damaged Kisses said, yes, age spots. F off. Laughing out loud. Damaged Kisses, thank you, though. I appreciate you. But Use Wisdom said other folks figure this out and just want to take it, just like taking our property and land and inventions. This is sad. Imagine if they had to come to Damaged Kisses got me rolling, Leslie. That would be money for black people. They say, hey, can we, when we'll pay you $380 an ounce to pull some of your melanin out of your body. Black folks will be with it. I mean, you already got people going to the blood banks donating blood for $50. You don't think a black person like, man, shit, like, let's work, man. Let's negotiate. 380, you don't give me 340. I'll take you know, take some of my, you know what I'm saying? Give me 340. I'll give you an ounce of my melanin. But they don't want to pay us. They want to take it by any means necessary. Sarah, how many missing black women is there? Do you think there's a coincidence? Missing truck drivers, missing black women, missing truck drivers, missing black women. The movie Get Out, real talk, that was based on some real shit. They disguised that movie, but they spoke loud at the same time. CC said your imitations crack me up. You know what I'm saying? CC, you know what I'm saying? You know what? That 380 an ounce, you know what I'm saying? Give me 340. You know what I'm saying? I'll do it. I'll do it for 280. Sherry P13 Sorbert said, I wonder if healthy Big Malcolm Jamal is missing body parts in that poor country. I know. DL, have a great one, brother. I appreciate you, DL. I appreciate you, family. Listen, I thought about that. Has his family checked to make sure all of his body parts were there? Did they do it? That would be something to know. I hope that his wife, and his family is doing a second autopsy in America. I pray to God. I pray to God they do. Man, this is crazy, man. Lisa Fraser said the movie called Baby Farm is where they institutionalize them just for their babies. Yes. Well, I mean, this experimentation thing has been going on since slavery. And, they experimented on, they used to drill into black men's skulls, the slave masters, just to see what it would do for fun. I'm sorry, you guys. I get hyper about this because it just drives me crazy. They drill in their head to stay. They used to drill in black slaves' heads to see what it would do to them and how it would affect them. Awesomeness says, so I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard he was found in a pool with bruises on his neck and face. No, he was in he got caught in a riptide trying to save his daughter. Awesomeness. Use Wisdom said Malcolm Jamal's wife is suspect. You think so? Use Wisdom, you think so? That'll be another interesting conversation. You think so? I mean, I would like to know about his body parts. I'm sure he had a hefty insurance policy for his baby. He loved his child. Joyful Lady said crazy is a polite word. Yes, it is. Joyful. Joyful Ladybug, it's good to see you. Cherry P said, yep. Everybody thinks, people are saying they think that Malcolm's wife is suspect. Teresa Harris said, you have to be conscious of everything now. Listen, to my black sisters, let me tell y'all. I be seeing y'all jog at night with y'all little tighty tights on. Like y'all gonna whoop somebody's ass if they come up to you and grab you. Linda Gibbons said, is melanin replaceable though? Does the body reproduce it back? Yes, absolutely. Linda. Yeah. It's just like your West name in the core of your bone. I'm trying to remember what I want to say. The West name in your bone marrow. Cherry P said it's spreading allegedly. Maria Handy said, I believe it. Black women, stop going jogging at night with your tighty tights on, like y'all just cute and you just jog and you got your hair down, you looking at your nails, and you jogging at night. Ain't nobody looking for you at night except for the wrong people. Stop going outside jogging at night. Stop doing it. Protect yourself. Be aware. Cherry, you know I ain't lying. I saw this sister with the coldest, nice little jogging outfit on, but it was every bit of 7:30, 8 o'clock. And she was cute as hell. And she was just jogging down that sidewalk. She had her little Apple Watch to match, her shoes to match. But I was like, damn, I don't know why she's out here in the dark. See, you so funny. Desire says Stone, the word on the streets is that she went 2 months, 5 hours before Malcolm did allegedly left. Also, she set the trip up with the oh. I heard that Desire, and I was just like, ooh, mm. Joyful Ladybug said, I saw an interesting story about his wife and supposed man friend who happened to be in Costa Rica at the same time. If I can think of it, it's worth a view. Makes okay. I'm gonna dig deep into that. I know some of his family members, so I might have to make a few shout out calls. Purple Honey said that's when those traffickers really be out. Yes, they do, Purple Honey, because nobody's watching. Leslie said I come from an old school. Leslie Murray said Brooklyn. Laugh not lie. I watch my back. I don't trust. I like everything. Laugh now. Go ahead, Leslie. That's what I'm talking about. Let them know, Leslie. Brooklyn don't play. Brooklyn girls don't play. Brooklyn girls don't play. Brooklyn. Listen, Bridget said Desire. Yes, his wife planned the trip. That's crazy. Joyful Ladybug said, yes, the same one I saw. Use Wisdom said, It also says that individuals with the darker skin have higher levels of melanin. Yes, they do. The darker the berry, the more protection. Yes, that's a fact. Go look at the ones that have disappeared. If you pull up all the black women that have disappeared, it'd be very interesting. You look at the melanin. Look at all the truck drivers that have disappeared for that little moment until the body's found. It ain't no light complexion black. It ain't no El DeBarge looking family members out here trucking, and that's happening too. They don't want the light ones. They want the chocolate because they know the value. They know the high frequency that it vibrates by. Do you know? Did you see that young inventor, the black guy that invented the thing where the car can run without gas? You know, he just disappeared, right? He's invented all kinds of stuff. He just disappeared. They don't know where he is. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Black folks, share the information. Share my video. Share my live. This shit is important for us to share within our communities. Any black folks passing this video, share the live. Teresa said, yes, I did see that. Yeah, they don't even know where this kid is. He just smart as hell. African kid, he disappeared. Coming up with all these inventions that were going to shake the world. He just vanished. Ah, that this was said they need black women's wombs as well. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. This shit goes deep, y'all. We're the only ones that don't get it, but they get it. They know what's up. We're the ones that's going, what's going on? They know. They know what's up. Cherry said, I hope he's okay. I hope so too, Cherry. Bridget said, yes, Stone. His mom said he is safe and he's safe. So that kid I'm talking about, he's okay. She knew they probably knew they had to hide him because people been trying to track him down, probably to get rid of him. Love Jones said they sure do. Joyful Ladybug said, just saw a very interesting video yesterday about this proportionate number of black women missing in Chicago as compared to other majority of races. See, Stone's not making none of this up. I only give the information from what I study. His Iron Fire said yes. His mom spoke about it. His mom stated yesterday that he's fine, but it's good. We gotta protect. We gotta protect. We gotta protect our people. We don't know who's going to, and we gotta spread the news. We have to. Oh, pretty much we're all on our own. If we don't look out for each other, we're on our own. Cherry said, I need a light medical procedure and refuse to let them put me to sleep. I don't want my melanin taken. Yeah. Cherry, it makes us look at all this differently now, doesn't it, as black folks? Because a lot of hospitals. Okay, do you guys remember this doctor? Do you remember? No, this not doctor. But do you remember the story about 2 years ago? Yeah, Tessie, she said his mom said they're just hiding. They have security on him. Or are we talking about just the black women missing? Sorry. Awesomeness says, Stone Paxton, how do you feel about the music industry? Would you allow your children, if you have any, to be in the industry? Okay, I'm gonna answer that real quick, and then I'll go back to the other story. Awesomeness, monitored by me, yes. Whatever they wanted to do, I would allow them to do it, but I would monitor every step. I would be in their life through every step of it. And if they didn't want to do it, I would be okay. I don't have any of my own kids, but I raised step kids, and they were never interested in it, even though I tried to influence them. They were doing martial arts. I had them in martial arts. They were doing running track and other things. So they didn't really want to do it. Lisa said research is important because mainstream media is not going to tell us this time. No, they're not. Matter of fact, we're never going to hear about it. Purple Honey said, hell, until I'm healed, I gotta stay packed when I go out because I'm not fast. Yeah, you got ladies, conceal permits, ladies, tasers, ladies. Listen, let me tell you guys a story. Do you remember there was this private investigator, not investigator, private investor about 3 years ago, maybe two. He would show up at hospitals and drop off body parts like hearts and kidneys in like a ice, like by the pounds of them. He would donate them with a letter. Do y'all remember that shit? I know I can't be the only one. Go look it up. This man was a private investor, and he would show up at the hospitals and just give. Go look it up. I'm not. He would give like ice, these big ice buckets of body parts that was on ice, and he would just drop them off. He would stay anonymous. He never gave his name. I wonder why police and nobody ever questioned this person. Purple Honey said, I got all that in brass knuckles. Stay that way. Do you guys remember that guy who dropped all the body parts off at hospitals? Go look it up. Go Google it. Oh, I'm scared if I get off this live, CC, it might it might knock me off the live. You know my West name be doing weird stuff. I'm scared if I do it. I think I saw the text, but let me see if I can do it without it knocking me off. I'm scared. Yeah, I'm scared it might knock me off, CC. Yeah. It was a private investor, wealthy guy. Wealthy guy. Just Google wealthy guy drops body parts off at hospitals and watch what comes up. This is no joke. And he wouldn't give his name. He stayed anonymous. He would just take the body parts to the hospital. I saw the interview of it. It blew my mind. I mean, it's like a Robin Hood of body parts, I guess, right? For people needing kidneys, he just drops them off at the hospital. They never gave his name, though. They never gave his name unless they're giving his name now. But the document, I'm not the documentary, but the interview I saw with the doctor, they wouldn't even give his, he never gave his name. Terry, you have to. You got to stay ready, Terry. Awesomeness. They never gave his name because they said he wanted to remain anonymous. You can even look it up on YouTube. But Google um, wealthy man delivers body parts to hospital. Dolores, what's up? Dolores, you're not a member of the channel anymore. I don't see your membership thing on there. What happened to you? Said what's going on, my Dolores? Teresa said, I think he was from Chicago. Probably some of them black women that he done took the body parts from. Purple Honey said, I think I spotted some trolls on your channel because my phone keeps freezing up when you say certain things. It might be. It might be those body part people on my channel saying what I'm saying. They don't like what I'm saying. Austin says, yes, I'm looking it up. A lot of different things popping up. If you don't find it, I'll share it on another live. Yeah, Lisa, that's somebody different. This guy never gave who he was. Love Jones said it was used without her family's knowledge and they took them to court. That this was said, did you hear about the lady who passed away in the hospital and the family was not informed? Her skin, eyes, and organs. Yes, I did. That this what I did hear about that. Yes, I did. Use Wisdom said it was on ABC New Jersey based company. Yes, Use Wisdom. That was it right there. That was exactly it. Use Wisdom. It was an interview, and they were asking the doctor, "Oh, well, who is this person?" They didn't give their name. Hey, awesomeness. Yeah, I got to make fun of it. You never know. Awesomeness. This YouTube is. You never know. There'll be some crazy folks here. All right. Okay, you guys, listen. I've held you long enough. I am going to be on here tomorrow, same time, 11. We're going to chop it up, chop it up. Do me a favor. Please share this live, you guys. This is important. Share this live. Share this live. Share this live. Thank you for all the donations, for all my loved ones that have donated. I appreciate you all the time, every single time. And Dolores and all of you that are not members, Scorpio gave away memberships yesterday. Where were you guys at when she gave those free memberships away? Make sure you guys renew your memberships now. You're going to miss some. I'm not going to tell you what's coming up. Y'all going to miss some goodies. All right. Peace and love. Stone Paxton Music and Life. Stone Paxton The Couch podcast. We coming at you every time with love. I'll catch you on the next one. All right. Catch you tomorrow. Peace.